I was super stoked to be asked to come and do this talk today, and I thought, yeah, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I came up with this phrase a while ago called more to go, which is the sensation of falling when someone strongly considers their mortality. Now you're probably thinking like, what? But the thing is, when I truly grasp in the moment that my life and everything I've known could be over in like, you know, a minute, decade, year, because it's slowly ticking away, guys, we will cease to exist, right? Happy stuff. But this is what it started to influence how I draw and stuff. So this is me, and all I've ever wanted to do is be an artist who draws, preferably can make a living from it, but that wasn't part of the plan. And I wanted to make a difference, no matter how big or how small. And so it was a natural choice for me to go to art school. So I could try and find my voice and try and bring drawing and social change together. But it's kind of hard to do that because there's so many like hidden barriers there and like hidden politics. So I struggled a little bit. I just wanted to draw and get good grades, and then I got addicted to prestige, so started like ruining my values a little bit. And this, I just started drawing everything around me. Like this is all the skylines of every capital city. It's like super, super long. And but the thing was, my tutor then says to me, she goes, "Yo, Smizz, you're never gonna get high grades because drawing isn't contemporary enough." And we were all like, "What?" Just like this. And it was like that. You know, we know that sentiment's not true, but it stuck with me. And so I gave up drawing for 3 years, even though I absolutely love drawing. So instead, I played around with different things. I did like this whole thing on gentrification in Sheffield and fly posted things illegally. Probably shouldn't say that, but then I did loads of other things. I started to realize I love collaboration and like dialogue. So a group of us collectively called Cake, we opened an art space on West Street for like 2 years. It was above a bar, so it was always good times. And we did loads of cool stuff like slam poetry sessions, did shows with architecture, drawing, and it was a way that we could get in touch with the community that often is sometimes left aside. But all the time, I just kept thinking, man, I really miss drawing, but I wanted these good grades, right? So in my room, I hid away, and I like drew secretly. And all the time, I just knew that I wanted to combine both drawing and social change. So I carried on still drawing. This is part of me drawing everything of Sheffield. And I knew I wanted to combine drawing and social change, but it hadn't come to me yet. And then, unfortunately, I kind of got sick. And I had this crazy fatigue, had these crazy nosebleeds, bone ache, you know. And I worked in the States for a while, and my boss was like, "You need to see a doctor." And then the doctor was like, "Oh, I think it might be like a lymphoid malignancy or something." And I was like, "Oh crap." And then I can't tell you just like how everything changed in that moment. Like everything, the way I felt the weight and value in time every day. And it feels like a gift, that awareness. And so I realized that everything that I thought was important suddenly wasn't that important anymore. Like, you know, those grades and the prestige and being known. And everything that I thought was unimportant, like spending time with like my nan, became really important. And seeing the sunrises and sunsets. And I realized this is called what we call a mortality moment. As it says, and it's a way that influences you to make those changes that you wouldn't necessarily make. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to do what I love. I'm going to go back to drawing. And as a patient, I realized the systems in place are not super, they're not super straightforward, and there's so much information that people don't have access to. So and then this was like, this is my sword, my pen is my sword, yo. I can totally communicate crazy ideas live And so the live mapping illustration adventure started. And what I loved about it was a way that I could combine people's interests and ideas and thoughts that aren't normally, they don't get the chance to do. So the NHS were like, hey, Smizz, can you draw our patients' like thoughts and things? So I did that. And it was great because people with like learning disabilities, people that find it hard to communicate in general, if you've ever looked at terms and conditions, I'm sure nobody's ever looked at terms and conditions, but like I get the awesome job of looking through policy documents and change them into pieces of like information that you could actually take away and understand. And they're usually fun. Drawing helps to like, you know, give light things heaviness, and heaviness things light. And I realized this is actually my calling. You can see this is Gio and I, George, doing these awesome drawings, and we got a chance to do it together with TEDx and Sheffield Docfest, who have been amazing and given me this chance to be able to hone this skill of live drawing. And the great thing about this is conferences, we get to draw things so that everybody can understand them. Like, you might not be here for the talk, but you can take a picture of the talk and put it on Twitter so anybody can understand it and all ages can get something from it. And I put this slide here because it says people-powered NHS, but really what I think is drawing is people-powered, definitely. So it gives people a voice that doesn't necessarily have a voice when you draw it for them, because they feel valued. And I feel like some people, if you're feeling like invisible or something, like seeing your stuff on paper really makes a difference. And I just want to make sure that anybody, your thoughts are all worth it. So yeah, thank you.